Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing Yakuza Like a Dragon and my thoughts on that. The systems I'm going to be reviewing that for is the PC and the Xbox Series X. I did get Yakuza Like a Dragon this weekend. It may have even been on Friday, the day after Christmas. While it was on sale, I believe it was about 30% off or so, but I got the deluxe version of the game for $58.99. I believe the regular one was probably closer to $50. So I figured might as well get the deluxe version. I've seen a little bit of reviews on it. I haven't seen a lot of gameplay footage. I've just seen some here and there. So I wanted to go ahead and give the game a try. Now, one of the nice things about getting it on Xbox is it's cross-play, which means when you buy it in the Xbox store, you also get it on your PC as well as the Xbox to play on that. So that makes it kind of nice. There's a couple things in the game that I will say that I did not like very well. One is the length of the story mode, where all the dialogue and stuff happens. Now, when you initially start the game, you can choose what language it is verbally as well as on the screen in the text dialogue. I chose English for both. You can also choose Japanese for both, or a mix of Japanese and English, and it could be different if I would have done the verbal in Japanese and the text as in English, possibly, or vice versa. But these are my experiences that I've had. So it seems like the game is divided up into chapters. I'm currently just starting on chapter 4. However, chapters 1 and 2 are very dialogue heavy. I would say almost to the point to where I felt like 80 to 85% of the game was dialogue. Like I barely got to play any, maybe 15 to 20% of the time I actually got to do gameplay. Now, about halfway through chapter 3, that did change. It seemed like I did get to do a little bit more physical gameplay, which did help out because basically some things I noticed, so your skills, those automatically advance for you. You don't have to pick certain skills to dump points into and stuff. It's an automatic skill leveling system. It also does unlock new attack styles and those sort of things. You have a mana bar, which takes up mana points when you do specialized attacks and stuff. And you can regain those using drink and some foods and other abilities. You do team up sometimes with NPC characters that are then part of your team, and then you can utilize their attacks as well. The combat system is pretty good. The game looks great on both PC and Xbox Series X, of which I played. Being a cross-play title, wherever you leave off on the PC or the Xbox, you pick it right back up on either system. The saves go across both systems, which is always nice. I would say I probably played the majority of it on the Xbox. I did some on the PC too, but I put in several hours over the weekend. And I do overall like the game. The other thing, as much as there is dialogue that sometimes overshadows playing early on, there's dialogue scenes where the character just makes a sound like or ha, and stuff like that. And then it's just a bunch of text on the screen. And I don't know if that was by design, if it has to do with the language choices or what the case is, but it's one of those things where it's kind of annoying because you're getting used in the very beginning to where you have just verbal dialogue along with the text dialogue down below if you choose that. And then you get to these scenes where it almost feels like the developers got lazy and just put a couple sounds in instead of voice dialogue the whole time, and then it's just all straight text that you have to read through. It does auto advance on its own, so when you have the option to continue the dialogue, if you don't hit it within a few seconds, it'll go ahead and continue on for you anyways. But there are times where you can't advance it, and that's part of the problem with the long dialogue sometimes, is that you're waiting and waiting and waiting to physically play the game and not just be told a story. But like I said, about halfway through chapter 3, I felt like that was getting a little bit lighter, and it wasn't as bad. So I'm hoping that, now that I'm in chapter 4, it'll be much better. If you've already played the game or you're thinking about getting it, Leave a comment down below with what your initial thoughts are, what you're thinking about as far as getting it. I would recommend it, actually. It has been a fun game. It's something where you can pick it up and put it down off and on. And the only thing is sometimes you might want to wait and make sure you get through some of the long dialogue periods to save, because you don't want to have to get partway through it, quit out, go back in, and then you got to start all over again. So I normally make sure I get through those dialogue pieces myself. But overall, on both systems I've tried it on, it's ran really good. I have a 2080 Super in my PC, and then of course, like I said, the Series X. And if you have the PS5 version, I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are on that. But it's definitely worth picking up. If you've liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button for me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see new content as I go ahead and release it. And overall, like I said, Yakuza Like a Dragon, I feel it's a good game. I would say right now, if I had to give it a rating on the scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably do a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10, just from the dialogue aspect of it is rather lengthy, and at times no verbal dialogue at all, which I do kind of like to have both in the games that I'm playing, just so if I'm not totally watching or I'm looking at something, I can still hear the dialogue that's going on, and without that piece you kind of miss some of the story. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great new year as well. Thanks.